Okay, today I'm going to do the original Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Mini. Every retro gamer takes a shot at Super Mario Brothers. And because the game has been talked about so much, I really don't think that there's all that much for me to say about it. So I'll talk about it a little bit, but then I want to just kind of talk about the channel and what I want to do with it. So this game was the pack-in game for the Nintendo bundle for a number of years. I think in some markets it may have come out a little bit earlier, and the pack-in game might have been something else. But as far as I remember, the original Super Mario Brothers was the pack-in game for years, and that's why everybody seemed to own it. The typical bundle was the Nintendo Entertainment System with 2 controllers, the Zapper gun, and the cartridge with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on it. Some kids got the deluxe bundle that had the Zapper, the 2 controllers, and also the power pad, and it came with a cartridge that had Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt and 3D World Runner on it. Now, I've always maintained that the bundle that came with Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, and even the bundle that had all 3 games on it, 3D World Runner, Duck Hunt, and Super Mario Brothers, they could have, and maybe should have, included, instead of Duck Hunt as the game on the Zapper, they probably should have gone with Barker Bill's Trick Shooting, which I think was the best game on the Zapper, and it's, you know, kind of a shame that most NES gamers, you know, they remember the only NES game that was Zapper compatible that they remember playing was Duck Hunt, which was a little on the boring side. Barker Bill's Trick Shooting had a lot of variety, and it was a lot of fun, and a really cool theme with the carnival shooting games. Would have made for a better game to include on the cartridge. I think gamers would have had a little bit more fun with the Zapper if that had been the pack-in game instead of Duck Hunt. Same with the power pad. 3D World Runner wasn't a very good game. I think gamers instead would have been better off with Short Order Explode. If it's not obvious at this point, this isn't a speed run, and it's not even going to be a deathless run. I'll probably lose a few lives, probably in the later worlds. I am going to be keeping an eye on my score, though, because I do like to score chase and keep track of my points. So I've talked about the games that were on the included in the bundle, you know, with the power pad and the Zapper. As for Super Mario Brothers, I love doing that. As for Super Mario Brothers, it was a great game to include, you know, just classic platforming video game action. And because everyone seemed to have owned this game, you know, you kind of, showing off how good you were at it was something that you would, you know, show off to your friends or your neighbors, or cousins or siblings or whomever. And that was kind of how you gauged, you know, who was better at video games, was who could play this game the best, because everybody pretty much had this game in their library. That was foolish. I'm gonna lose points for that. so now that we're in World 2, and I've talked about basically as much as I've wanted to say about Super Mario Brothers, you know, now I think now would be a good time to start talking about, you know, this channel, which is pretty new, and this channel's been really fun so far, just uploading some footage from the Nintendo Mini. So I'll probably keep doing a few more games on the Nintendo Mini. Score chase a little bit more on Donkey Kong Jr., the original Mario Brothers arcade. You know, those are the games that I really like. As I've gotten older, I find that I don't really have too much time anymore to devote to playing like longer, newer games. So I really just want to spend time doing older games and score chasing on those. You know, that's what I have the most fun doing. Ideally, what I want to do, like the ultimate goal, is to get to the point where I can just like live stream score chasing. You know, games like Donkey Kong 3, Elevator Action, Paperboy, Burger Time. Like, that's what I really want to do, is live stream score chasing. But I think it's going to be a while before we get there, and there is still some stuff I'd like to do before I get there. Like, first off, I'll never set up a Patreon or anything like that. I don't believe in taking donations. You know, this channel is just a fun little side hobby. It's not meant to make any money, so I'm never going to run any ads on this channel. I'm never going to solicit donations. Anything like that. I'm probably not even going to, like, I wouldn't even sell merchandise or anything like that. If you buy merchandise from a YouTuber, I think that's fair game, but, you know, giving donations, that, for me, that's kind of crossing the line. I think donations should be given to worthwhile charities, not to YouTubers who are playing old video games. I messed up that joke. So, if this ever stops being a fun little hobby, then you know, if it's not fun for me to do anymore, then I just won't do it. But for right now, I'm just having fun finding a place on the internet to upload my game footage. I'm obviously not that great at games, but I do enjoy playing them, and I do enjoy having a place on the internet to play them. I've had a lot of fun doing games on the NES Mini and the SNES Mini. And in the short-term future, what's going to happen is I recently bought a HDMI conversion, first party, for my Xbox 360, so there's going to be some Xbox 360 games in the near future. I actually still have on my memory drive for my Xbox 360, I still have when the Simpsons arcade game and the X-Men arcade game were briefly available for purchase on the Xbox 360 store way back in like 2012, I think. I still have those saved on my Xbox 360 memory drive. So once the HD conversion comes in, I'm going to do those. I'm pretty good at both of those classic arcade games. I missed out on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game when that was briefly available on the Xbox 360 store. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that one. Then there's some sports games that I'd like to do. I think it's kind of fun to do stuff with sports games because, you stuff like win the Stanley Cup with the Arizona Coyotes, like something that you're not going to see in real life. You know, I have a baseball game where I have a player who's, you know, shattered Barry Bonds' home run record. It's fun to do stuff like that. So, some Xbox 360. I may even do Doom 3, some Doom 3 gaming. You know, 'cause I absolutely love that game. So there may be some stuff like that as well. You know, I'm looking forward to doing stuff with the HDMI, with the Xbox 360 once the HDMI conversion comes in. And then I have my eye on an HDMI modded NES front loader, because currently I have a top loader, and I was considering sending it off to a shop to get modded, but it's getting harder to do that nowadays. The HDMI conversion kits are becoming harder to do. So I think what I may end up doing is, you know, I've found a couple sellers on the internet that have some HDMI modded NES kit, or excuse me, have some NES front loaders that are already HDMI modded, and that way I won't have to spoil my top loader. So, and if I do acquire it, then I'll be able to do, you know, like the score chasing that I really want to do. Wrecking Crew, Pinball, Popeye, you name it. I think every retro gamer also takes a shot at the original Mega Man hexology at some point. So those are the plans for the channel. Like I said, it's just meant to be a fun little hobby. I also want to be careful not to make it too expensive of a hobby. I've already spent money on a capture card, a headset. I have a pretty good game library. I have the Nintendo Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini. Those weren't cheap. So, if I do go through with this and get the an HDMI modded NES front loader, it'll probably be the last major expense. Like, don't expect me to, you know, shell out to get a Super Nintendo modded or a Sega Genesis modded. I do know that it is, of course, you know, more economical to emulate games. It's more economical to, you know, find other ways, like getting, you know, maybe there's certain types of upscalers or whatever. You know, I'm sorry, I'm just, I prefer the authentic, classic hardware. I don't know why, I just prefer playing the old games on the hardware, on the old hardware. So, I guess something else I could talk about is my NES collection. It's not the greatest. There's, you know, no shortage of great NES collections out there. I do have just about every major release, you know, the desirable ones. Like, I have the Double Dragons, I have all three Ninja Gaidens. I have the Super Mario Brothers games. Currently, the only games basically that I'm missing that I would like to add to my collection at this point are the original Mega Man 1, which is getting kind of expensive right now. I have the other 5. The 5th Mega Man is the most expensive. It's about $100. But the original Mega Man is starting to creep up in price. I think currently it's going for about 70, maybe 80 bucks. I think sellers are trying to push it over where Mega Man 5 is. Let's see, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. I have both Zelda games. I have a lot of the Black Box games. I guess basically I'd add at this point that the only games that I'm trying to add to my collection I'd like to have a copy of Snow Brothers at some point, but that's a very expensive game. I think it's over $200 right now, so that's out of the question for the long-term future, at least. I would like to have a copy of the Tengen Tetris. That's about $100 right now. So I'll probably hold off on that for a while. Mega Man 1 I'll probably get in the next couple months. Either sometime before or sometime after my I get a HDMI modded NES. Because that is a game I would like to play, because it's the only Mega Man where you can keep track of your score. Ducktales 2 is another one I've kind of wanted to add for a while. I used to own it. I sold it. I got it for a pretty good price back when I first started collecting, and the thing just skyrocketed, so I did part ways with it after a few years. And I've been thinking about getting it back. Unfortunately, it's gotten too expensive, so, you know, like Snow Brothers, that's probably another game that is probably out of the question. But Mega Man 1 and Tengen Tetris are probably the 2 games that I'd like to add to my collection in the near future. But other than that, I have about 100 NES games. Most of them are desirable titles. I think it's also important to have some mediocre games as well. This is certainly one of the more interesting looking stages in the game, where everything's a mushroom. And so far I think we're having a pretty good run. 357,000 points, coming up near the end of World 4. Haven't left too many points on the table, missed a few flag bonuses, but other than that, we're doing okay. This is one of those labyrinth castles, and if I forget the solutions, there's a couple that are like this. If I do forget the solutions, it may take me a couple of circuits before I make it to the end. Okay, this one, I was able to get it on the first try. And we're gonna fight him like a coward, because I want the bonus points. I really can't think of that many Super Nintendo games I'd like to upload footage of that aren't on the Super Nintendo Mini. Like, you know, I love the Super Nintendo, but it just doesn't make sense for me to get my Super Nintendo modded. Like I said, I'm at the point where I'm more interested in playing, you know, just very simple score chasing games. I might upload footage of me running through Super Metroid. I'm a bit rusty at it, but that's a game that a few years ago I was very much into and able to complete the game. Not 100%, but you know, getting a lot of the power-ups in under 2.5 hours. Now, one game that I would absolutely love to upload a playthrough with commentary of is the very first Resident Evil on PlayStation 1. That's a game that, for one, I'm very nostalgic for it, and for two, that's a game that, in my opinion, is really, it's just not talked about enough. The very first Resident Evil 1, one of the reasons why I found it so appealing as a kid was because it had so many quote-unquote moving parts, like where you were and what you did affected, you know, the interactions that you would get later in the game. You know, and there's videos on YouTube of, you know, gamers playing it and kind of showing how to get some of the different, like, scenarios and cutscenes, but I think it really warrants a commentary. I would love to do it, but oops, I messed up that. I'm just gonna have to leave that alone. Yeah, I'd love to do a commentary and talk about how to do Resident Evil 1, how to get all the scenarios. But like I was trying to get to just a moment ago, it's not worth, you know, getting a PlayStation 1 modded. You know, PlayStation 1 is going to look bad on video anyway. It's just an awkward looking, you know, with all the polygons. I'm not sure which retro gamer said it, but systems like the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64, they came out during, they're sort of transitional, like with, you know, Super Nintendo, you could see the, like, things like sprite work and graphics. They had just finally, like, really perfected it, and that's why games on Super Nintendo look so good. Some of them. And then there was the transition to, you know, like, more 3D and polygons, and it was just very awkward looking. Something else I've kind of been toying with the idea of is doing some Mario Maker my son has a Nintendo Switch, and of course the Nintendo Switch is HDMI. So doing a Mario Maker on the Switch would be fun. If you have any ideas for games that you'd like to see me do, you know, by all means, leave them in the comments. But right now, I have my heart set on Paperboy, Elevator Action, Donkey Kong 3. Pinball, Popeye, Wrecking Crew. A couple other ideas I've toyed with is picking up a copy of the, I can't remember what it's called, it's Midway Arcade Classics or Midway Arcade Legends. But it has Root Beer Tapper on it, and I think that would be really fun to score chase on. The pinball machine in Duke Nukem Forever, that would be really fun to score chase on. That's another one that I've been toying with doing. We're over 500,000 points. I don't think I've ever... I don't do, like, anything to kind of, like, glitch out getting extra points or anything like that. But I do enjoy... I thought there was coins there. I do enjoy getting as high a score as possible. So, when I play, you know, I do whatever I can to rack up points, and it's always fun to see what kind of score you get at the end. I think I'm probably on pace for maybe 700,000 points or so. This is the other really interesting looking level. Everything is colorless. It almost reminds me of the Simpsons arcade game when you get to Dreamland. Uh-oh. Okay, just me. But I don't think I've ever gotten over 1 million points. I don't even think I've gotten over 800,000 points. And again, not doing anything to glitch out points or whatever, just I may not... I think my streak of not having lost a life yet is going to come to an end. I'm not having a good run on this level. Okay, so yeah, last time I tried to record a video of myself playing Super Mario Brothers, I lost a bunch of lives in 7-3 and 8-2, and I think maybe even 8-3 I lost a couple lives. Bullet Bill means business. Dying for a mushroom here. I think there's one. There we go. Right at the end of the level. I love doing these underwater levels, but I only love doing them if I have a fire flower. And I haven't been able to do that in this game yet, so I'm kind of disappointed with this run. I'd much rather be able to do this with being able to shoot fireballs at all the enemies. Oh well. When I did my Super Mario Brothers 3 video, I was able to do the underwater levels with the frog suit, and I was really happy about that. I was also able to beat one of the Koopa kids while wearing the Hammer Brothers suit, so check out the Super Mario Brothers 3 video if you want to see me really self-satisfied with the playthrough. This one I'm just doing okay. This isn't, the points are okay, I haven't died yet, but still got a ways to go. The next level is the one with the flying Cheep Cheeps that I remember it kicked my butt the last time I played. Now it's got flying Cheep Cheeps and Koopas. Okay, well, I was able to make it through 7-3 okay. Wish I'd been able to get that mushroom. Because next, this castle is one of the labyrinth castles. And is it top, middle, top? I can't remember the solution, so if I get it wrong, top, middle, bottom. Okay, I'll figure it out. So, full disclosure, obviously I'm a fan of things that are vintage Nintendo. I know that's not the correct solution, by the way. but probably the vintage Nintendo memorabilia that I own that I am kind of most proud of is the I still have my wallet. If anyone remembers the Super Mario Bros. 2 wallet, it was blue, Velcro, trifold, and it had a, it's either called a lenticular or a hologram, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it changes the image depending on how you look at it. It's Mario picking up a mushroom block, and the pattern all over it is, like coins, vegetables, cherries, the POW block. I bought one brand new a couple years ago, but everyone had this, or, you know, kids that were, you know, big Nintendo fans, a lot of them had this wallet years ago. And I don't think that I owned it as a kid. I own it now, and it's, you know, kind of a man-child thing to own. I fully admit to that. But it's cool. It's definitely a conversation. Alright, there's my first death. World 8, Level 1. So, hopefully that's not a... This is no longer a deathless run at this point. But hopefully that's not a harbinger of bad things to come. I usually make it through World 8-1 without any deaths. 8-2 and 8-3 are the ones that usually get me. But yes, I do own that wallet. I was able to buy it brand new, still in the bag. And it may have been something of a sin to open it. I think this wallet was sold in 1990 or 1991. You know, obviously the one I got is in really great shape because it was still sealed in the bag. Now, a piece of memorabilia that I would like to own, but, you know, I've kind of given up on it because it's just so expensive, but the, this is the trick, one of the trickiest jumps in the game. The, breakfast cereal by Ralston, the Nintendo breakfast cereal system. When those do pop up online, they sell for a lot of money. Especially if they're like, sometimes you just see the box for sale on the internet or for sale on eBay. But if it is, you know, authentic and it still has the cereal in it, even though you're obviously not going to eat the cereal, it sells for a lot of money. I think I've seen them go for like $1,000 or something. Like, because even if you're not like a cereal box collector, which, yes, there are cereal box collectors, the item is still very desirable to Nintendo collectors, Nintendo fanatics. It might surprise you that one of the other expensive breakfast cereals, maybe the most expensive, I mean, obviously the Michael Jordan Wheaties is very desirable, but also by Ralston, the Rainbow Bright breakfast cereal box sells for a lot of money too, and is, I guess it's really rare because you rarely see it on eBay. For some reason, I do check on that from time to time. I'm not a cereal collector, but I am curious about the Ralston cereals. Ralston, either they were bought out or they went out of business, but they used to make all of those vintage cereals, or excuse me, licensed cereals like Rainbow Bright, The Real Ghostbusters, Nintendo. All those were made by Ralston. I think Ralston also made... Here's where I'm probably going to get beat, by the way. If you don't get a fire flower, then this level is extremely difficult. But, yeah, Ralston also made I think they made those, Halloween-themed cereals, like, Boo Berry, Count Chocula. Somewhere down the line, Ralston either got bought out or went out of business. You can still get the... this part always requires a little bit of constant... Well, I'm not gonna get a fire flower, so... But yeah, you can still get the Halloween breakfast cereals. I can't remember who sells them now. I was gonna get those coins. Can I still get them? Okay, I can. Unfortunately, no fire flower to take out Bowser in the last castle. Every Halloween, or every October, excuse me, or late September. I think it might be Post, or maybe Kellogg's, probably Post, but they do the Halloween breakfast cereals for that month, and kind of a tradition. My kids and I always get them. They like the Count Chocula the most. We're in the home stretch now. Oh, I forgot. You can only do that if you're small. Alright, well, hopefully I can make it by Bowser. I'd really like to not have to do the castle twice. Okay. And we're gonna finish with a final score of 682,250 points. Only one death in World 8-1. So, I feel pretty good about this run. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to me talk about where the channel is, where it's going to go, what I want to do with it. And hopefully we get to do all that stuff with it. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about breakfast cereal. And look forward to seeing you next time.